All right. In theory, we are streaming. Let me. I keep instinctively opening Firefox. But yeah, Firefox is like not. It's just like not loading shit properly anymore. It's really annoying. Um,
Oh, this fucking mint is so disgusting.
Mint.
These medicated mints. Yeah, I
Uh,
got like lozenges. They're the medicated ones that like actually work are so gross though.
the one of the medicated ones that actually work.
Yeah, like it like really actually helps because
Yeah.
because they're medic, but like they taste so fucking nasty. So
There we go.
let's do this so I can stop using them.
I love it. I love it. All right, I'm ready to go.
Oh yeah. We are live.
Yep.
All right, then let's see. Let's do a podcast. Tell me, you want to take this one.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. If you're listening now, if you're not listening now, welcome to the Unranked podcast. My name is Tom Caswell. If I was Matt Berry, that's how I pronounce it. Tom Caswell. Chris is here. He is the only one here. We've had a couple of high school dropouts, but Chris is not doing so hot. So I will be driving the show to limit the amount of talking that Chris ends up doing. Chris is nodding.
No, I'm gonna speak. I'll speak. This is gonna be the most I've spoken in several days. I have COVID. When we say I'm not doing so well. However, the show must go on. I will say this will be a much shorter episode than normal for that reason. So we're gonna jump right into it. For our Patreon subscribers, we still will do the post show. You won't find it at the end of this link like you normally do on the live shows. You will. We're gonna record something in a couple days just because I just can't use my voice all that much, and the other guys aren't here. So I think we're gonna talk about the Ring of Power in like a couple days, and it'll be a little bit longer than a normal post show anyway.
Yeah,
so that'll be cool.
More of a mini pod than a post show. So you both you and Therese have COVID. This is your first time both having it, right?
First time.
Oh my god. I really thought that like when we I think me, Tuna, and Dan all got it within like weeks of each other. I really could have sworn that you had it already. Sounds like it's been pretty rough, but
I mean, it's not ideal.
It's definitely not ideal. Yeah. Well, there we go. So it is Unranked 339. This week, the Pokemon is Barboach. Have you pulled this one up yet, Chris?
Oh, yeah. I pulled it up.
A Pokemon so...
Pulling it off.
So kind of unrecognizable, boring in the background that there seems to only be like one still, because we usually use like the anime or images from the anime for the Pokemon for the shows on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There is like only one episode this thing is in, and the still that it is that I could find was too tiny to use. This is a slippery eel guy. He's a water ground Pokemon. This is we're running into classic boring first evolution, but interesting next evolution, which I guess we'll be talking about next week. Thoughts on Barboach? Quick thoughts. We don't have to spend too much time on this guy.
I will say, so look, these Pokemon we need because they elevate the more interesting Pokemon, and because Pokemon took a turn after the first generation or two and was like, actually, there aren't real animals. There's just Pokemon now in the world. It seems like it's like, well, you need things that are just fucking animals sometimes. Like this is just a sea creature with like a cartoon palette.
Yes.
Right? There's nothing, which is fine. Like the original Pokemon game is like just that, right?
Yeah, for a lot of it, yeah.
So that's fine, but it's useful it's really good that it's in the game, but not for the reason that you usually want it to like a thing in a game, right?
Yes, it serves its purpose. Yes,
Yeah. Nothing stands out if everything's exceptional.
this is true. This is true. We do have
So I think that's why it's good.
Steve Labine is in the chat. Steve, let us know your thoughts on Barboach Pokemon 339. Of course, you can join the live show if you are a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/unranked podcast. $5 will get you that. A monthly cost will get you every week the live show. All right. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on the standpoint of it being like a necessary evil, shall we say. You have to have the boring. You have to have a bit of the good to have a bit of the bad.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yes,
Carl,
exactly.
or whatever it was the Carl said.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there you go. And that's true for everything, including Pokemon. So Chris, you've been COVID stricken. Was there anything before that? Or have you been playing anything? Have you been super playing stuff? I know you've been trying to catch up on shows. Are you working?
All right. So I am. Today is the one day it didn't really work, which is funny that I'm doing the podcast. I only did a little bit of work, but today I slept a lot during the day, and then I watched our shows live, and I was about to like message them and like be like, hey, I'll like take notes if someone can tell me what the current time code is or whatever, so that like, you know, 'cause otherwise my notes are meaningless too without the right. But right before I did that, like I got up and I was so dizzy. I was like, nah, I can't pay attention.
Oh no.
I feel fine. I feel way better if I'm not moving around.
Sure.
Like I have pretty bad brain fog. I took half an Adderall though, so that I could do this and some other stuff because I have some stuff I need to get done. So it's kind of like whatever. Like sometimes you gotta work when you're sick. I will say something that I meant to say on the show last week and I didn't was our show was announced that we're going to be doing our show live at TwitchCon this year. Name Your Price.
Oh,
my G4 show. Not on.
I was like,
sorry, I said our. You're right. No, we're gonna be doing it. I'm gonna have no voice.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fine. I don't need to do another podcast for a week. We're doing it live at TwitchCon on the glitch stage, which is like the biggest stage at the show on Saturday at 2. So I'm sure some of our listeners here will be at TwitchCon. Hit me up. Let me know. Come find me. Go see our show. Go check it out. It's a like 2,500 seat venue, which is gonna be sick.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm very excited about that. But so since Therese was sick, we didn't do anything, and I just took care of her. And now I'm sick and she's still getting over it. So I've just been watching a lot of TV, and I've watched almost the entirety of that Mitchell and Webb look as well as Peep Show. Over the last week.
You know, those shows are not the best shows for when you are a little delirious, a little out of it, because they're weird. And like
they're so weird.
They're like kind of like those but
they're kind of weird the way I am, so it was nice.
100. That's the thing is like to me, I'm like, it makes perfect sense, and Chris would love those, but my thing is like it would be almost like a rehearsal type situation where you love that kind of comedy and those jokes and all that so much that you would, in your delirious COVID state watching it, not be able to discern reality from these TV shows, because one of those shows, Peep Show, happens entirely in the first person. It's done from the perspective of the two main characters, who I think are roommates, right? And it cuts back and forth.
They chill on it a bit. They chill on it a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like, or they got better at the perspective stuff and like had whoever's looking at the other person talking. Like they start using like mirrors and cameras and things too, so you can get some third person.
Okay.
But yes, it is. It is a lot of it is. It's way stronger in the first season, where it was a little annoying, but it's a weird fucking show. I mean, of course, the one thing I'll say like is it's a 20-year-old show now almost.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So just like the early Office and any kind of sitcom from the 90s and early 2000s,
not aged
there
well.
are some jokes that do not go as well if they were done today. But I mean, again, it's like watching old Looney Tunes in like some ways. It's a product of its time. Otherwise, it was really funny. But I did play something. I feel like I should just keep going while my voice is working.
Those
No,
lozenges are doing you wonders.
I watched another show called Only Murders in the Building.
Yes.
Because I was just like you were asking me if I watched Lord of the Game of Thrones yet, and the answer is no, because it's a show Therese would want to watch with me. So it's like,
yeah,
we need something to watch together. And I was like, while she went away, which is where she got COVID, I was like, I need something to binge. I was like, she's never mentioned this show. I'm gonna put it on. Only Murders in the Building. I got like 20 minutes into the show, knew she would love it, had to stop watching it. But then she got sick, and we watched the whole first season over the weekend, and now we're on the second season. It's really, really funny.
People love it.
Not a fan of Martin Short in the past. I think he's great in this, and he's hilarious. He just never did anything for me, really. He's so funny in this. I mean, everyone's really funny in it, and it like catches you off guard at points, and they do like weird comedy bits out of nowhere. There's like a sketch, at least in like every episode, like where like it feels like you're in the middle of a normal like crime drama, and then they just go into a comedy sketch for like 3 minutes. It's like it's really bizarre, and just reminds you, right, okay, this isn't serious. It's a comedy. So I watched a lot of crap because we're just sitting in front of the TV. I'm also just like doing my Lego solely because I have a backlog of Lego.
Couldn't be me.
I did play a game.
Okay.
It wasn't Xenoblade because I tried playing Xenoblade while I've been sick, and I do not have the focus for it.
Absolutely
I can't. I'm just like, what did that person just say again? Like, oh, I can't go back. Like, fuck this, and I just turned it off. I played Midnight Fight Express.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
I got like a third of the way through this game. It's a brawler.
It's kind of like not Miami Vice, Hotline Miami. Like you're moving from room to room, just kind of taking out guys.
Yeah, the combat
isometric.
The combat's not. I tried that Sifu game, and that game gets a little too deep, I think, for me. The combat.
Sure.
I would like it to be slightly more button mashy, which I wouldn't necessarily call it button mashy, but you can make mistakes in this. Whereas I think that Sifu game, like game is, from what I'm aware, it gets really hard. It's a really fun game. I did give up after a little bit of like trying to get like a full completion on each level, because every time you go through a level, and they're all probably like 3 minutes long, there's collectibles, there are challenges on the level, and then there's like a score you get as well. So it's like, to get S rank, you have to like beat it without dying, with getting like super high combos, doing all these things. I was doing that for a while, but then I realized I was just unlocking cosmetics with it, and I was like really stalling my progress, so I stopped. But I'm about halfway through it, so I'm probably going to beat that this week, I think.
Okay, cool.
I really like it. I want to play that Tinykin game a
very
lot.
Good.
So I just need to finish Midnight Fight Express, which is why I'm done with the S-Class stuff.
I played it at PAX East earlier this year, Tinykin, and I'm really happy that it seems to be picking up. Because I didn't even really realize it was coming out until like a week ago. And I was like, oh, I haven't heard, like Cult of the Lamb and things like that. There was a lot of buildup, I feel. And so like that was like a big push for that game. And like some of the other indie games this year, Tinykin, when I saw like, oh, it's a week out. And I was like, does anyone else know? Like, because I just got it because like I'm on the press list, like, because I played the game. So like, I was like, I haven't seen like any promotion online really, but then like I feel like the day it came out, like PlayStation, Xbox, they all had like ads for it on their pages, and then I started seeing people comment like, "Yo, Tinykin is awesome." And yeah, for those that don't know, I can't remember from when I described it in PAX East. It is basically a Pikmin style 3D platformer. So you play as like a little human that's been micro-sized. Think what's that game we love? It Takes Two. You're in a house, but you're insect sized basically, and you have like these dust mites essentially that you can control and have them do things, and you work with like this insect scientist to basically build a machine that will allow you to like regain your regular size.
Okay.
And you use
Which is okay.
yeah, I mean it's a simple story, and it's like it's not really a
Well,
machine.
I'm glad they actually did. So they didn't just be like, "You're a space fairy explorer." Like
Yeah.
I didn't really look at much other than the fact that I saw the art style and that it was Pikmin like, and I was like, "I'm gonna fucking play this game. I don't even need to look at this again."
Yeah, 100. Yeah, it's that game. I remember when I saw it at the show and I saw the art style, which is it's kind of like Cult of the Lamb, where it's like 2D characters in like a 3-dimensional world. So there's a little bit of that there. But yeah, the art style is great. I think it's also like one dude as well that made this game. So I'm really happy that that game is getting the attention it deserves. I haven't really had the opportunity to jump on it yet, but I'm excited to play that one for sure. I tell you, man.
What did you play? Because you were on vacation.
Yeah,
You did stuff.
Well, I was I was away. So the last show I was on, I literally got to my parents' house. Was there for like a week. Went to my friend's 30th in Ocean City, which was a ton of fun. And then like we got back, and then like the next day I was flying out to California.
Right.
I was in LA for one night, and then we were in Pasadena, which is the town next to it. For
So that is you're still in LA.
right, LA County. Right.
Yeah, I mean, no one I know would say that Pasadena is not LA.
Okay,
It is I mean,
it is totally 100%.
It's 5 minutes from where I play dodgeball.
I just didn't know if like people would. I don't know how I don't know how. It's kind of like how here like the
boroughs
when you say
and-
New York,
yeah.
like it's the boroughs, but it's also like. I mean, in terms of like access to the city, like where I live is New York area. Like I'm closer to Manhattan here than I was in Brooklyn. But no one in New York would like. Everyone is like, no, you don't live in New York. Because it's a different state, so there's that like difference.
New Yorkers are a lot more precious.
But New Yorkers also don't think that people from Staten Island live in New York either.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, so I was there. I was at MorphCon. I was with my friends. It was a lot of fun. It was honestly really chill. I don't have a ton of like exciting stories or anything from it. We did go to this party called the Pink Dolphin, which happened in someone's hotel room and he does it like every year. Every year that this has happened, he has this party. He had like basically an epic room party the first year, and then like
it's like a Power MorphCon party.
It's not official. It's literally just like a room.
No,
party.
but it's not just like a.
Correct. Yes, it's with people who are in that community. Yeah, and it's called Pink Dolphin because he'd put like decorative pink dolphins around, and so it got ended up being called Pink Dolphin. And we went there, and this year it was like it happened on the last day, and it was like super chill. But the story that I heard, which I'll share, which I didn't witness it, but it sounds fucking hilarious, is the weird thing about Power MorphCon is that it's so small comparative to even smaller conventions that I've been to that it feels almost like it is a space for the actors and like cast and crew from all of the seasons to hang out and also like the fans be there because like it was so everyone was intermingled at all times. The actors who were there to like meet people and stuff like that, and then like all of the events afterwards they were there at just hanging out. Like I got to meet Bulk and Skull from the original seasons, which was like the one. I'm not a huge like meet the celeb and stuff like that, but they were the people that I was like they are like icons in a weird way to me, and so. But I met them in like we were literally just sitting in the hotel bar, and they came up and were like, "Hey guys, you here at the convention?" and just like started like drinking with us. And then we all went to like a bar afterwards, and like there were a bunch of actors there. So it was just, I mean, actors, the Power Rangers actors, but
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
But it was just like really cool. But this year, apparently, this Pink Dolphin in a previous year, one of the actors who was on one of the worst seasons of the show, he had apparently kind of one year made a kind of, I don't really know the details, but kind of made a display of himself at the convention.
I mean, there have been quite a few Power Rangers people that have some of them have had what I like to call a gamer moment, Tom.
100%. Not Johnny Ong Bosch. Austin St. John, who played the original Red Ranger, was there. He is currently being investigated by like the DOJ for like defrauding PPP loans. He could go to jail for up to 20 years, but he was at this convention.
That's insane.
Jason David Frank, who plays Tommy, the original Green Ranger, TMZ broke that he was getting divorced because he was cheating on his wife literally 2 days before the convention started, and he was there as well. There was this guy, Blake Foster, who played, if anyone knows, in Turbo, in the season of Turbo, it is a child, like a child's child, plays the Blue Ranger. That season, he was there. So he's like an adult now. He's like in his mid-30s. He's definitely, a lot of people like Austin St. John and Jason David Frank, like Trump voters. This guy was also there. I don't know if he's a Trump voter, but he's totally that vibe because there is this guy, Abraham Rodriguez. He, in a recent season, played the Gold Ranger, and he's a very small, I
don't know about the Gold Ranger.
He's very small. Well, this...
Okay.
Yeah. The Gold Ranger from one of the latest seasons. There's a ton of Gold Rangers.
He's very small.
He's a small guy, kind of petite, very skinny, very slender. This stuff.
I don't know why, but I find it funny that you're.
Well, the reason being is because when he got the powers on the show, when it turned out because he's the 6th Ranger, so he gets the powers into the show. This guy Blake Foster like posted like homophobic shit about this guy and was like, this is what a Power Ranger should look like. This is what a Power Ranger looks like. And he takes a picture of him and he's like all jacked and stuff. Both of those people at the convention, both Blake Foster and Abraham Rodriguez, the Gold Ranger from Beast Morphers, they were both there. So it's a very bizarre thing to be a part of, especially because everyone is just like chatting to each other. So apparently one year at this Pink Dolphin party, this guy who was in a previous season of the show.
It's like the worst white elephant.
Exactly. No one that I mentioned yet, they made a display of themselves at the convention, and like the Rangers go to this Pink Dolphin, have gone in the past to this Pink Dolphin party that happens in this room, and someone was saying like, hey, this actor wants to come. And they didn't really want him to come because he'd done something at the convention that like put everyone like not at ease. So the party is happening, and then they hear a knock on the window of the hotel room, and they open the blinds, and he is there on their balcony. So the way that the Sheraton in the Pasadena works is it's a triangle. So it's relatively easily, if you have the muscle strength, to actually just to climb up the side because you're climbing on a steep.
This guy climb. Oh, of course, because he's a Power Ranger.
Because he's a
Power Ranger.
Yeah, because that's what they do. Right. And apparently,
I heard myself say that out loud, Tom. Like, what fucking nonsense?
Yeah. So he teleported up there. So he teleported onto the balcony and knocked on the window, came in, was like, does anyone want to do a shot? And no one wanted to do a shot.
That's amazing.
No one wanted to do a shot. So he chugged, like he had this whiskey, he chugged like a couple of shots of that. And then like the hosts he was being unruly, so the hosts were like, you have to leave, man. Like, so they walk him like to the lobby and out the building because they wanted to make sure that like he left. And apparently he was walking through like the parking lot, and one of the security guards who was manning the parking lot, he was kind of being drunk and stuff. One of the security guards who was manning the parking lot went up to like kind of get him, like stop him, like and like get him together, like, hey man, you gotta go, like all this stuff. Apparently,
to get him the fuck out of there.
Apparently, he drunkenly like parkoured over.
No.
Like ran up a wall and like rounded over the security guard, and then the next morning was like found like passed out in like a fountain.
Fame ruins people. Fame ruins people, man.
Well,
it's not good. It's not good for you. Like just like all these people, man. It's not good for you. And in some ways, it's like worse if you were like only famous for like a brief period, but during that time you were really famous because it's like this guy sounds like he's like an addict for it, right? He's like an addict for attention.
Sure. I mean, I think also like he apparently he was overheard saying like to a small child who was there for the
Oh
Rangers.
my god.
He was like overheard like he was signing something and he was saying to the small child, he's like, yeah, he's like the show's been like a blessing. And he's like then he said something about like finding God and shit like that. And apparently he's not like rambling about like that. So he might have just like had some issues before becoming a Power Ranger and maybe just like all of that. Anyway, so that was Power MorphCon. I had a blast. I kind of came back and was exhausted.
Of course. It's a big week.
And I went right into working. So like this week has kind of been I felt very run down. I haven't had COVID, but I have had like a little bit of a cold. Which is like I'm feeling like the best I have in days right now. But yeah, I've just like felt super run down. What I've been playing, so I am very happy to say, everyone, I'm an adult. I'm 30 years old. It means that when you have to make the tough decisions, you make them without a fuss. I did not buy Saints Row. I have not played Saints Row. I saw reviews of that game, and I was like, you know what? I don't have the time to waste on this game.
Tom, I had a reminder to turn it off.
Oh, I
but
forgot that you had it on your thing.
I forgot to drop
So
it because
funny.
I was taking care of T, and I was so mad at myself Saturday night when I realized I didn't go and drop it.
I can't believe you picked it up. I can't believe you even. I mean, to be fair, I didn't think it would be as bad, but it
There
definitely
weren't
was
a
not
whole lot
big
of games
earner.
left, and I thought
Yeah.
it might be like a
So
high
it might
7,
surprise
8.
us, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not picked up Saints Row.
I shouldn't have trusted them after fucking Agents of Mayhem.
Agents
Like,
of
let's be real.
Yeah, seriously. It's like this. It's like this thing with now where it's like Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Plus. Like I have all these subscription services that just add games all the time. So many of them I just own and haven't really played. And like I'm like, this is just gonna be another one of those games that like in a year or two is gonna be on Game Pass, and I'll be like, well, my stupid ass paid $60 for it when it came out. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
So there are so many reasons now, like incentive-wise, to just not buy a game. It's the same way with The Last of Us remake that's coming out tomorrow. Reviews are glowing for it. I love that game. I would love to play it on PS5, but I'm like, they're gonna make that a part of their library in like a year because it's not like Last of Us Part 3. It is like they're gonna add that. There are games of that caliber that they have added. So I'm not buying that shit either. Mainly
Right.
so I can play Tinykin and all these other awesome indies that have come out. I've played Rollerdrome. I don't think I was able to talk about that last time I was on because it happened.
No, you mentioned that you were playing,
Yeah,
but you didn't talk.
it's awesome. It's so cool. It's Tony Hawk meet like arena shooter. Game. It's awesome. It's on everything. I think it might even be on Game Pass. I know Tinykin is. I don't know if Rollerdrome is. But definitely worth checking out. I beat the game on the regular difficulty.
Nice.
There's a harder
Wow.
difficulty that
How long was that?
It's short. It's not very long. There's a bunch of like challenges and stuff and like additional things that you can do. And then when you beat it on regular difficulty, it unlocks like a hard mode that changes some stuff around. I haven't done any of that. So it's a quick game, it's like maybe it took me 5 hours to get through all of the original missions, but there was still like a ton of like, it's like do this trick this many times and all the challenges and stuff that I just didn't do. I only did enough to get me to like the subsequent next batch of levels, which is how you progress. You do like 3 levels at a time, and you have to do a certain amount of challenges to unlock the next tier. It's a lot of fun, and it's great on Steam Deck. I forget what consoles it's on. I think it's on everything pretty much. Then the other 2 things I've been playing I've been playing a lot of, I worked on right before I took time off. We have this series called iHeart Gaming. I worked on doing the basic edit for the Red Dead Redemption 2 video where they just talk about why they love Red Dead Redemption 2. So I like literally watched 2 hours of people telling me how much they love that game, and I'm like, You know, that game is awesome. And I was like, oh, it'd be great. Like, let me see what it's like on my Steam Deck. And that game on Steam Deck is fantastic because it is like literally just like a world in your pocket. And so just having it like right in your hands, like in front of you, like I've had almost more fun playing it this way than I ever did on my Xbox. And it looks great. It runs pretty well. Yeah, man. That game, I no one is gonna come close to making an open world. Did you play that ever? Red Dead 2?
I did. I put probably like, I don't know, like 8, 10 hours into
Oh,
it
okay.
in the main story.
Mm-hmm.
And I really couldn't get past the delay lag input, man.
Oh,
I
yes.
just I don't understand why it's even a thing. Like I press a button and it feels like almost a second goes by before an action is followed. And then it takes me out of the game so
Sure.
much because it doesn't feel like I can like actually be like the wild cowboy I want to be. And it kind of ruined it for me. Like I don't get it. I really I think it's my biggest problem with all Rockstar games is that they control so poorly. But the world was incredible. So like
Yeah.
I eventually just like I was like, well, I'm not gonna play through this anymore. So I got like the code so I could just fuck around on it for a while. And I
Yeah.
just like
And I mean, it's
so I
great
was
to
like,
just
all right,
fuck
what can I
around in.
do?
That's the best. That's the
Yeah,
best thing.
it's a really cool game. I just couldn't enjoy the gameplay part.
There's so many hours of the game you can spend not doing anything related to any of the story stuff. You could make that game like a sim, like a management sim, like an Animal Crossing type experience of like going out hunting for the clan, for the posse, getting money to like expand, like you can upgrade your tent and things like that. Granted, it's not that deep. It's not deep enough to sustain you like an Animal Crossing, but you could just live that life. Yeah, it's an unbelievable game, and I started the story from the top because it's cool. It's a cool game, and also like I hadn't played it on PC, so I didn't have like my Xbox save. But I've put like another like 20 hours into that. I played a lot on the plane and stuff. And then, yeah, because a ton of other games have not been coming out, I'm kind of like going back through things that I missed this year. And I'm almost done playing the Destiny 2 Witch Queen expansion, which came out like when Elden Ring came out and all these other things came out in the beginning of the year. So I just never got around to it despite really liking the Beyond Light DLC and what they've been doing with that game. This is easily the best story content that's been in Destiny 2. So it's been great, and like the way that there's so much about this game that I hated in the beginning, and it has been fixed. Like even from like a gameplay standpoint, like the level design, the way that the puzzles are done, the way that you fight bosses.
It's crazy
and
to hear
stuff
you
is
say
so
these
good.
things because it's like I feel like every time they'd come out with a major update, the same things would be said. But then by the time the next update rolled around, everyone was sick of how things were done.
I mean, obviously, I think there's still things that, it was really funny watching that they just announced their next expansion, what that's going to be. And in that, they were like, this one is going to be the one that's friendly to newcomers. We're building this system, and this system to help onboard newcomers. And I'm like, I feel like you say that every time you do an expansion and it just like never happens. It is such an obtuse game. But the basics are still like fun to play, and I think that they're on a sustained. I think the problem was with Destiny 2 is they did Forspoken, which was their first expansion after it, and it was like really well received. And then they did Shadowkeep, which was their last thing that they did with Activision. And I know that one is like the black sheep of the Destiny 2 expansions. But then they did Beyond Light, which was the one right before Witch Queen, which was people really enjoyed. And then this one is kind of like, oh, this is fantastic. Like people have really enjoyed, apart from a couple of things like crafting, but like people in that community like really like Witch Queen and all the content they've added this year. The Lightfall expansion that's coming out next year looks cool. It's I don't know if you know anything about it, Chris, but it's they're adding Neptune as a planet, and it is featured in like a futuristic city. So there's actually like a
Whoa.
city that like that's the new map, that's the new world, and it's a city that's basically been hidden. That's been hidden like Wakanda style, like from everything. So no one knew it
Can you
existed.
explain to me what is the current, and this sounds so dumb because I always like, I mean, I'm we do the show, I stay on top of these things, but
Sure.
I think I got too burned by Destiny over
Yeah, I
time
feel that.
that I just really stopped following it. How do you play this game now? What does it cost? Where do you like what is the deal with this game?
So
Is it
you
worth playing on Xbox? Like, is stuff only going to be on PlayStation? Like, what's the deal
oh
with this game?
yeah, so the base game is free now. New Light, the Destiny 2, as far as I'm aware, the campaign does not exist anymore. They basically for the original game. I think they truncated a lot of stuff, which happens with MMOs. You know, when I played Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, it's a completely watered down in terms of the amount of content there is experience. But then you have to buy the expansions on top of that. I think like on when they come out, they're $40 initially when they launch. Obviously like discounted. I know that like Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, and Forspoken, all of the expansions before Witch Queen, which is the current one that they're in, those are all bundled and you can buy them at a discount, or together as a pack. Yeah, so there's paid expansions. In terms of like content, I just think that I don't think they have anything with PlayStation, any like ad deals. Oh well, oh no, but now they are PlayStation, right? That's correct. I keep forgetting that they're a PlayStation studio. So far, none of
That's
the
why I'm like, what is the
right.
deal here?
I don't. So far, there has been no kind of like PlayStation exclusivity regarding like that hasn't affected any of the content. Doesn't look like it will for the next expansion because they've already like put out like pre-order stuff and here are the bonuses and shit. There was no mention of PlayStation stuff. I think that you will be fine. I don't think that PlayStation is going to get too involved with Bungie Studios because Bungie still publishes. Like, it's not going to be a Sony published game. It's going to be a Bungie published game.
Right.
So I think it's still very like platform agnostic. This will be like that Minecraft, where they own it, but it's like it doesn't really affect. Other than like I wonder if that like if they do spin-offs and shit, if they'll be PlayStation exclusive. That'd be interesting. But yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's still just like such a great shooting experience. And one of my least favorite things was like the missions were just like so boringly formatted, and this game is all about like repeat to play to grind and like get all the shit, and like I didn't want to do any of that with any of the previous story content or any of the other content. I was like, I don't want to run this like 10 fucking times. The Witch Queen stuff has been so good that like I'm like I want to go, like I would love to replay that level. There was one that I played on stream last night that was like a really great hour level, and I was like, I really want to replay that, and like you can because that's the point of the game. And so they've made, at least with this expansion, they've made that content compelling, not just from like it's fun to play, but like, hey, all of that grinding and stuff, like it's way more fun because we've structured it in a way that makes it something you want to replay. So I mean, I will infamously play this expansion and play it for another week after that, and then just wait for the next expansion. I won't stick with it. I don't see that changing. But I'm always excited when a new expansion comes because I do like dipping into it, and I feel fulfilled with that content, which is good enough for me. I don't need to, be playing it all the time. And
Can you convince Tuna to play this game?
I don't know. I feel like I convinced Tuner very little. He is getting set in his ways as the time goes by.
Yeah, I agree with that
now. Three, 4 years ago, maybe. 2022, absolutely not.
I told him yesterday
Uh-huh.
when. I mean, do you have anything else you want to jump to news?
No, we can jump to news.
Uh, bum 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 bum. I just don't feel like looking it up. I'm using the other computer right now, man. I'm tired.
I feel
Deathloop was coming to PlayStation Plus. I
Yes.
tried telling Tuna, and I'm like, listen, you missed this because this is my second favorite game from last year. I think he would really like it. I think
He also
like the
would love
collectibles.
it. Yeah, he would love that
Yeah,
game.
he would like the pace of it because it's slower. You can kind of like take your time, figure out like, like the game with some people didn't land as well because it was presented as a bigger open puzzle than it was, and it was far more linear. But you can make it into a puzzle, like, which is how I played it. Like you can take your time and like decide how you want to like fuck around in that world. And I'm like, this game's gonna be
totally
free, dude.
a puzzle.
Just fucking download it. You don't even need to do anything. Just redeem the game. That he was like, well, I'll try. I was like, listen, just
here's
redeem it.
here's the deal. It is a part of the more expensive PlayStation Plus tiers, not the basic one. So if he doesn't have extra or premium, it's not going to be free for him. But I don't know what his status is on that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know what my status is on that.
You'll probably
I'm probably on the basic.
If you had just had PlayStation Plus and did not have PlayStation Now, the streaming stuff, you are on the basic. Yeah, you're on the basic.
That's what I thought.
Still. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, what else has come to PlayStation Plus? We got Deathloop. A couple other things. Assassin's Creed Origins is on there. Chicory, an indie game. Did you ever get around to playing Chicory?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you like that one?
I did. If you, I will say this: if you're gonna play this game and you have a PC, unless like you can't afford to buy it, get it on PC, because I got it on PlayStation and I played it. And it's unfortunately just not as good of an experience because you have to use the touchpad, and being able to use a mouse to draw and paint and stuff in the game would be a wildly better experience. If you have like a Steam Deck, I'm sure it's better as well. I had fun with it, but I think because I sat there knowing that there was a much better version of it, I told myself I'll buy it here. And then every time I thought about doing it, I was like, I already own it on PlayStation. It's a cool game. And I wish I had just got it on PC.
There you go. So don't claim it for free through PlayStation.
No,
Plus.
if you get it for free, you should definitely pick it up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like if you thought about this game and you didn't want to put the money down or you couldn't, then get it on PlayStation Plus. But otherwise, I would get it on PC.
So we've got 3 other news stories, Chris. Where do you want to start? We've got Nintendo Direct rumors, we have Halo Infinite content, and we have Assassin's Creed news.
Do the Direct last. Let's just get the other 2 out of the way. Okay.
Well, let's start with Assassin's Creed because I feel like that'll be the one we have the least amount to talk about. So Assassin's Creed Mirage was officially announced by Ubisoft. This was after it had already leaked. We've talked about this game on the show. I believe it was called Assassin's Creed Rift. Essentially, this was meant to be a Valhalla DLC. It kind of outgrew that, and they're putting it out as a smaller standalone. It's going to be more in the vein of the original Assassin's Creed. There are no RPG elements. It is all like the way in which those original games worked. You are playing as Basim, who is a side character in Valhalla. It takes place in Iraq.
This is like, I mean, can we just spoil the end of Valhalla, because this is the like most interesting thing about this game, right?
I never got to the end of the story in Valhalla, but it's fine. You can spoil it. Like it's fine.
Well, I mean, so at the end of Valhalla,
yeah,
like a lot of like fucking shit about the Animus and who you're playing as gets revealed, and some characters get trapped in this location and one character doesn't, and it's your boy Basim, who is not necessarily a good guy.
Mm.
So I think it's and it sort of ends with him leaving, and you're like, well, where the fuck's this dude going?
Okay, cool. Awesome. So that's exciting. I didn't know that there was like kind of like a cliffhanger element because I have not paid attention to all of the. I know it's very important now because obviously like Cassandra from
I've only
Odyssey
played
like
one of
has
these games, but
existed.
now I know so
I
much about
know
it.
it's kind of wild. Like all the anima stuff like was just like such a mess and so like poorly handled in the previous games that now they seem to be like trying to do stuff with it and I'm like, do I really
Maybe
want
they
to?
decided what it is.
Maybe.
You know,
So that is interesting. Yeah, there's no leveling. Apparently, well, this leak says there's multiple cities to explore. Jason Schreier says that there are a couple of details in this leak that aren't correct. One of them being that there aren't multiple cities. You are just in Baghdad during the 800s, the middle to late 800s. No
I don't know anything about the area, but what is that going to be like? Is it going to be like environmental, like climbing mountains and stuff like Valhalla, or were there cities? I really I don't have any knowledge of
I
that
think
period of
that
time
there
in that
were,
place.
that was definitely like, yeah. I mean, I don't either,
Like
but
how tall were that? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like how far was society along? Yeah, I don't know although like I will say from the promo image they've put out, it seems to be very like when you think like Middle Eastern from like yesteryear, I guess, like it seems very like true to what you'd imagine. Like there's a temple here. They're in like what seems to be like a marketplace. So yeah, it'll be an interesting time to experience it. Apparently, it takes place during something called the Anarchy in Samara, which if I Google that quickly, Anarchy. The Anarchy in Samara was a period of extreme internal instability from 861 to 870 in the history of Abbasid Caliphate, marked with violent succession of 4 caliphs who became puppets. Okay, so there's some civil war shit going on. No more dialogue choices, no gender choice. You know, you're playing Basim, who is, funnily enough, like historically, like both male and females, but we'll not get into that. They will have the bird from the new Assassin's Creed games, but that seems to really be the main mechanic that they're keeping. I wonder if the combat will be like Valhalla, and I mean, I imagine it's probably going to be the combat because it was meant to be a Valhalla expansion, which I'm fine with. I think the combat in those games is good. Yeah, is this doing anything for you? You played a shit ton of Valhalla. You might have regretted some of it. You're muted.
Sorry, I was coughing. I won't know till I see it because
it's much smaller.
Yeah, I mean that makes me interested alone.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, I bet visually seeing it on the new consoles and stuff is gonna be enough.
Yeah.
Right. I'll probably play it because I actually know about what's happening in the
I know
story.
you're a big Basim fan. You're the number one Basim
I mean,
boy.
they make him like shadowy the whole time, but that's the thing they allude at the whole time is like, oh, this motherfucker knows about the Animus and all that shit, right? But they don't make it clear that actually he's not necessarily on your side.
So
and
his character in the past knows about the Animus?
Yeah, this motherfucker.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
He's actually kind of pulling all the strings.
I gotta fucking finish Valhalla.
He's kind of pulling the strings, Tom. Like
hell yeah. I mean that's dope. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Interesting. Yeah. I'm definitely excited. Assassin's Creed is like the only Ubisoft property left that like I actually think is any good. I will, and you know, it being a return to something like the original Assassin's Creed, which are games that I love. The first Assassin's Creed, for as poorly as that's probably aged in terms of like gameplay, and Assassin's Creed 2 was definitely like a step up in so many ways.
that was the one that everyone like sold everyone on it, right? Was
two is the one that made it the mega franchise.
That's got Desi.
Desmond, yes. Well, Desmond is in 1 as well. But yeah, Desmond is in the original trilogy.
I gotta tell you, if I ever have a boy, Tree's gonna have to fight me tooth and nail not to name him after my favorite character from Lost, Desmond.
You mean your favorite character from Assassin's Creed, Desmond?
Yeah, my favorite character from Assassin's Creed, apparently.
They should just reboot. I mean, I like the anime stuff that they do, but the fact that they have written themselves into a corner where there are so many like things, like just like silly things that they have to reference. I'm like,
I
just
think this
reboot
is
it.
almost like a soft reboot, though, in a way, right?
But I always
guess
feel
we'll
like they
see.
try to do that, and it's like, but at the end of the day, they're not like actually rebooting any story elements. It's just like, here are some new characters to follow. But like in Valhalla, the British guy who kind of looks like fucking Stephen Merchant in the past or the present, he's from the original games and was not in the series for entries and entries, which was a good thing.
I didn't know that. That's so funny.
And then, like, when I see him pop up in Valhalla, because I never finished Origins and I never finished Odyssey, despite getting very far.
Did
on
any of the other
Odyssey.
ones have the thing in Valhalla where it's like we're looking at Eivor's like body?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
But they usually, I think, like the recent ones, maybe, I don't know, because I remember in Origins, like they're like on an excavation in Egypt, and there are like artifacts and stuff that are from that time. I mean, the whole thing is like, you know, they use like links to the past and shit like that.
Great game.
Anyway, so that is Mirage. Yeah, we'll hopefully we'll be seeing more of that actually on the 10th of September when the Ubisoft Forward is.
Sorry, should have.
You good? Fine. It's the coughing podcast.
I can't believe I got fucking COVID, man. I made it so long.
Yeah, and like the new variant,
the boosters
the
coming out.
new variant boosters were like right around the corner.
We were right there, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, another thing that got announced, Halo Infinite has simultaneously what feels like the most content coming out, and also like a little bit of a shallow thing. But what's happening is instead of the season 3 happening this fall, that is being pushed to next year. What is coming this fall is going to be arguably probably the more important update in the long term. We're getting Forge beta. We are getting campaign co-op and mission replay. There will be no couch co-op to the game, despite promising that it would be in there. But it makes sense. When even Tuna wasn't annoyed that they were canceling that, because I thought Tuna was going to be pissed when I messaged him. But he's a changed man now. You know, he's got this baby. When
you should have canceled the Xbox One version of the game.
You got to think they're going to stop bring updates to that at some point. I don't know,
man. It feels like it's too late at this point.
Yeah.
And it like, I really wonder, like, I wish I could go and talk to someone there and be like, if I came to 4 years ago and said, we're dropping Xbox One support, you just have to make this run on the next console, how much more of this game would be done?
So yeah,
I have a feeling, man, it would be a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's multiple factors. I think that I think COVID really screwed them over. I think multiplayer games out of everything have been the games that have found the toughest time transitioning out of COVID. But yeah, I also think it is probably that cross-gen support. Obviously, also there's been a lot of management shakeups. You know, there was last-minute stuff.
And they also outsource a lot of people because it's such a big game, so there's all this turnover, and there's just a lot of things that contribute to this game being a mess. It's unfortunate because the actual game plays so well.
Which is why I wonder if, like, in a few years, it'll be one of those games where people like look back and they're like, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, no, I think I was a lot more optimistic, and I thought that would be this fall because we would have campaign co-op, we would have more than 2 new levels, and we'd have Forge out, but we're just getting the Forge beta, and the campaign co-op is split screen is cut, and the campaign co-op's not coming yet, and it's like, all right, well, then
there's only 2 new maps and that Forge maps, which is cool, but
yeah, we're still way behind. But Forge will change everything.
Forge will change. It'll be the beginning.
If it's
of the
open
change.
beta for everyone, Tom, then it doesn't. I don't care if we don't have a lot of other maps. You know why? We are gonna have so much fucking shit to do. I've been looking at this stuff people are making with the beta version of this Forge editor, and especially now that there's like weather effects and stuff too. It is absolutely unbelievable.
If the
Like within a
forge
month.
mode, if the forge mode lives up to everything we've been hearing and seeing about it, like, yeah, you're right, it won't matter, and in a few years it will be the thing where it's like Halo Infinite is the biggest game on the planet, and like it didn't even matter that it had that rocky
It's
first
going to
year.
be huge. Yeah, but
So
if it works. We'll see.
yeah, that is if it works. But that's also the reason why, as kind of like disappointing as this is, I just know that it probably, hopefully, will not matter in the future.
Yeah.
The other thing coming this fall is Match XP beta, so you will get XP based on how you perform in a match versus just the challenges, which is great. I'm gonna save the battle pass, the season 2 battle pass, because I still have like a quarter of it left to go. I'm gonna save that for then. There will be a new 30 tier battle pass then, and then yes, like I said, Detachment and Argyle, they're 2 Forge maps coming. And then Echoes Within is going to be the name for season 3. It's not coming out till March of next year. So a huge, like 11 month or 10-month gap between season 2 and season 3. There is going to be a new. This says new maps for Arena and Big Team Battle. I wonder if they'll try and squeeze out more than just one for each, but we shall see. New weapon. There'll be new equipment. The Shroud screen. So it's cool that they're adding new equipment. There will be updates to Forge. Quality of life improvements are coming. Game modes. There will be. Also, I think I read somewhere that they're going
blood. There will be blood.
There will be blood.
There's a lot of shit, man. There's a lot of stuff they're working on. They just need to get it out the door.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And it's got to work. And it's got to not break other shit. And they got to make the battle pass better. Like, they have a lot to do. And I just don't. I got off the apology train. I don't want to get back on.
No,
I'm trying not to buy a ticket. I see myself walking up to the station. I see that Halo station. I see there's like a discount on tickets sponsored by Forge. And I'm like, I do love Forge, but I just gotta hold out. I gotta hold out before I hop back on that apology train.
No, 100%. 100%. That's a good idea. Okay, and then really the last bit of fun news is that there will be a direct. Reportedly, there will be a direct coming in September. If there wasn't, it would be the first year in a long time to not have a September direct.
Yeah, the rumor's like 2 weeks from today. It's like
that would make sense. Middle of the month makes sense to me. Basically, it is being reported that the kind of stars of the show are going to be ports of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD to the Nintendo Switch, which is it kind of feels like exciting, but also not as much as those games will obviously sell very well on the console. Jeff Grubb says September event will be a Zelda blowout, so I imagine also like it'll be partnered with our first meaningful look at Breath of the Wild 2.
So does that mean we're getting Breath of the Wild 2 in?
I think we get Breath of the Wild 2 on
beginning of the year.
Anniversary, around the anniversary of Breath of the Wild. I think we get it March.
It would be so sick if it came with a new Switch.
We'll see. I still don't know if they're gonna release a Switch Pro. I mean, we've been talking about this console for years. I'm never ever gonna get my hopes up about that until it gets announced. But yes, so I imagine that we will get a look. I do think that they are going to aim for early next year. It's so funny, man. The beginning of the year is becoming more. I bet you we have a similar situation next fall, where a bunch of games that are meant to come out fall 2023 get pushed to spring.
The only dead time now is like the middle to end of summer. And otherwise, there's fucking games all the time now. But you can't keep up.
But what I'm saying is that even I would say this fall, I mean, there are some heavy hitters. Obviously, there's Call of Duty.
This fall's not as big of a deal as the spring is, yeah.
There's Call of Duty, there's God of War, there's Pokemon. Those 3 games alone mean it's a big fall. But in terms of like amount of content coming out, like the spring was way more packed, and I bet you the same thing happens next year as well. Because we're getting Starfield first half. Starfield and Redfall supposedly both coming out first half of next year. We are getting a couple of other things got delayed to early 2023. The Harry Potter game. I mean, despite what you think or if you're going to play that game or not, like that is a huge game.
Man, again, I'm not going to play that game. I'm also not going to get in anyone's case while playing that game.
Sure.
It's like there's nothing you can do in reality that's not going to support someone who's terrible or something terrible that's happening.
Yes.
But I'm just not, because like I just I'm not. But
yeah,
I will say it looks awesome. Like if you're into it,
it does look cool.
It's so hard for me to engage with that stuff now because it just it just brings up too many mixed feelings for me.
100%. Yeah, no, I think that and I think that's the important. I read a great article about it that was like, it's not bad if you play like the Harry Potter game, but like you have to like, you can't ignore like what it is connected to and who it is connected to. So if you feel like playing it, go for it. But definitely understand what that means.
It is. Everything sucks.
Yeah, everything sucks. Everything that you partake in is awful and terrible for the planet, and you interact with awful, terrible people all the time for your own needs. I mean, we all buy stuff from Amazon. Like, literally, we are all contributing to one of the worst things to ever happen to the planet all the time, every day.
Can I just skip us to mail in the game just because I'm starting to.
I mean, that was
crash here.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry.
I mean that was pretty much it. The only other thing is that we might get Metroid Prime remaster news.
I know, I saw that. I don't want to get my hopes up, man. They've been talking about this for years.
I know.
I want this game. The Metroid Prime games are one of my favorite games. The first one is so unbelievable too. It's so fucking good. If you haven't played it, you're in for such a goddamn treat, Tom.
I'm so
it's so good.
Excited, yeah.
It's great.
So stoked.
Also, like the music, so atmospheric. 805-738-8692. That's our phone number. Contact information's all in the show notes. I'm gonna play one voicemail and then we're gonna play our game.
Okay.
Yo, what's going on? So, not on the podcast this week. However, the other night, I ran into, can you say you ran into someone? That's a stupid thing. I saw someone I went to law school with who I've not seen in 8 years. I saw her the other night. She had no idea I was in her life. She had no idea I was there. I saw her. She didn't see me. And it just reminded me of that thing we were talking about with the stats. I would love to know. Like, she should know at some point when she dies that I was in her life. Like, she cares. But she should know that I was there. That at one point, our paths crossed again, even though, really, my path crossed with hers, or the other way around. Also, the daughter is now walking. So, suck it.
I'm not in competition with Avery.
Yeah.
Were you here last week?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, right. Someone wrote in that they've been having a secret competition with Alex's baby because their child was born like a month after his. And their kid has just started walking. And
that is
like,
hilarious.
I've secretly been waiting to hear when he said his kid is walking to see if who is first. So I guess Alex lost, but not by like a month. It seems like it was really funny though.
Sorry, Zuko was trying to go for this ball. All
right, Tom, you want to play a new game?
Yeah. I will. I also want to say real quick, I think it's hilarious that with the stats thing, he was like, not like, oh, that would be a great stat to know all of the like misconnections with old friends. It was more, she needs to know when she dies that we had this thing. Zuko, buddy.
So there you are. Okay. I don't know what's going on with this, but all right. So look, sorry if you're a listener, go to youtube.com/Unranked podcast so you can play this game. This is a very visual game. This is one of the reasons why the YouTube is free for everyone. The live YouTube and the post show that's attached to the live YouTube link is only on the Patreon. Again, if you're a Patreon member, post show at the end of the YouTube link, you can go watch it. Everyone else gets a different version of the YouTube video. But we can do visual games, which there are a lot of fun ones. Tom, I made a brand new one for us today. Would you like to guess what the name of the game is?
Well, it says new unranked game right there.
All right. But this isn't the actual title is Color Me Surprised.
I heard it in your voice when it came up
on the stream. Do you have our video up with this?
Yeah.
Or okay, great. All right. So Tom, in Color Me Surprised, I'm gonna show you a color swatch.
Okay.
Here's one color from a character from a video game.
Okay.
If you get it right on this, just on the first color, you'll get 5 points.
Got it.
If you get it right on the next one, where you'll have more colors and a multiple choice, you get 3 points. That's how it'll normally work when we just have us, like the whole group. But I figure, hey, let's test this now with just you. So Tom, this is the example round. Do you want to take a random guess at this one?
Well, this is a great test because I am colorblind.
Oh fuck.
but I feel like this is a very vibrant color, and I feel like a lot of these are going to be vibrant, like very distinct colors. This is yellow. I'm looking at yellow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is it's either minion yellow or it's warrior yellow. Wario yellow. So I'm gonna go with Wario yellow, which is hard to say.
All right.
So I think
so
it's
Wario. Not
okay.
Wario.
It's not Wario. Oh.
But now, would you like to take a guess?
Oh, and you've given me a couple of options that aren't.
So this is how when we play as a group, everyone will have their first shot for 5 points with just one color, but then at 3 points you get the multiple choice and you get 3 colors.
Oh, it's multiple choice.
Yes. So
Got
it's
it.
either Pikachu, Pac-Man, Chocobo, or Isabelle. I used the palette dropper, so like these are
Right,
colors that were
fantastic.
taken directly from the character.
I don't think the yellow is right for Isabelle for like her fur coat. I feel like that's a more muted yellow. Granted, though, I'm looking at a screen that is not properly color corrected. Could
I mean, there's
this
the
is
example
tough.
one. So just take a guess.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
we'll move on to the game.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna guess Pac-Man.
Oh,
Peaks.
it's Pikachu.
I was trying to think, does Pikachu have red cheeks? And he does. And there he is.
All right, so we've got 5 video game characters, Tom. You've got sort of a violet-y, indigo-y,
okay, so this is a purple.
here.
So this is
yeah,
Waluigi.
I'll say, I guess, what the colors are, too, for you to help and for the listeners.
Is this Waluigi Perps?
I'm sorry, it's not Waluigi.
Okay.
But,
but
now you know you have the multiple choices, Spyro, Waluigi, Meta Knight, or Pikmin. So it's one of these 3, because you know it's not Waluigi. You've got a purple, a yellow, and like a whitish gray.
I don't think it's Spyro. I don't think that's the right color. We know it's not Waluigi. Pikmin, I don't know. Aren't they all like different shades of like they're all different?
Well, there's
colors.
different Pikmin, so
Right.
but there is a purple Pikmin.
Right. Or it's Meta Knight. Let's do Pikmin.
Yeah, you should have went with your gut.
I just
It
didn't
was
know
Meta
where. I
Knight.
just I can picture Meta Knight, but I could not picture a single fucking color other than the main one. But I was like, oh, he has a gold sword. Oh, I didn't fucking realize that. All right.
How we feel in this game?
Good. Great game.
Great. Awesome. Let's go to the next one.
Green, like a
Yeah, it's like a green. It's
Link.
I mean, it's a pretty green. Oh, Link. It's so funny that you're guessing characters I didn't consider for the multiple choice.
Oh God, what do we got?
So no
here?
Link, but you've got a green. You've got sort of a mustardy, yellowy green,
Okay.
almost like a goldish,
Okay.
and then maybe like a burnt kind of like
Orange.
a mustard color, and then you have a corally orange. So this is either Blanca from Street Fighter, Yoshi, Luigi, or King K. Rool.
I think it's Yoshi.
Boom! Your
Yep.
first points, Tom. Points on the board. You got Yoshi. We took this orangey color from its shoes, and we took this mustardy color also from its.
the
Oh no,
heel.
sorry. I took the orangey red from its spine on the back of its head, and then
Gotcha.
I took the mustard from the shoes.
Gotcha.
I originally went with the the other orange on the shoe, but I thought it might be too tough. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this is just like a reddish orange. But it's pretty red. It's pretty red.
It looks like on my screen, it looks like the color of Mario, but not regular like Mario. You know when he has the white outfit with the red M?
Oh, Fireflower Mario.
Yeah, it looks like that. I don't think you've done that, but that's what this reminds me of.
I like that guess.
It could also just be regular Mario. He does have a lot of red, but I don't think it's this red. Is this a Charmander red?
It is not.
Oh.
Great. I can play this forever because you're naming all these characters that aren't even in the multiple choice. So we're looking for either Proto Man, Mario, Knuckles, or Donkey Kong. So you've got this red color, you've got like a goldish yellow, and then this is sort of like a grayish blue.
What the fuck is Proto Man?
Proto Man's like the red Mega Man. He's the anti-Mega Man guy.
I'm gonna go DK.
I'm sorry.
Ah, damn. Okay.
Proto Man, by the way, so much cooler than Mega Man.
Because it's definitely more of like an anime. It's like a Power Ranger outfit.
Yeah, Proto Man fucking rules.
Yeah,
dude.
it's got a little Robin cape,
and he's got like a shield that he could also like ride. Proto Man's pretty fucking sweet.
All right, they should make a Proto Man game.
Hey, he's in some.
This is the same yellow.
This is like a straight up mustard yellow. Yeah.
Heinz mustard. Fuck.
This is like that. What's that flower? This is like that gold flower color.
Sunflower?
No, it's like gold in the name.
Oh, okay. This is. I guess it could be Wario now. Yellow.
Marigold. This is straight up marigold.
Is
brain's not working.
Is this Isabelle?
Great guess.
It does look like that a little bit. Oh fuck.
So, you've got that marigold color, light blue, like a babyish, like a sky blue maybe, and then sort of a reddish brown. And it's either Crash Bandicoot, Q*bert, Tails, or Conker.
Oh boy.
I think when we play it, I'm not going to do the full screen single colors, but I'm just doing that because it's a one person game right now.
Is it Conker?
Boom! Crash Bandicoot.
No,
man.
he was the one that I was convinced it wasn't.
When I put Conker on there, I'm like, oh, this feels so mean because he's got so many similar colors to Crash. But
I can't even picture Conker. You know what I mean? Like, I know nothing about that character.
It's not a great character.
I know. I mean, I'm not.
But it's also a great
has
character.
Not escaped me. There you go. Okay, here we go.
All right, so last one. This is like a navy blue.
Okay,
but it's a little bit. It's brighter than that, but it's like a deep blue. This is a deep blue, without the sea or Samuel Jackson or the giant shark.
Mega Man.
No. So it's either Sonic, Crystal, Zero Suit Samus, or Vault Boy.
Vault Boy.
We've got that deep
Vault
blue.
Boy.
We've got
Vault Boy.
Oh.
Vault
Whoa.
Boy.
Whoa. Boy, you're gonna be so mad.
What the fuck is that?
That's
Who
Crystal.
the fuck is that?
Crystal is probably
Chris, this is a character from a game that appears on a porn site right before the video that's like, come and play this game.
Wait,
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm surprised you don't know who this character is just through like gaming osmosis.
Is this from Conker?
No, this is from Star Fox.
Oh, no. I didn't even know that there was a woman in Star Fox.
I mean, this is one of the like
this is.
most requested Smash Brothers characters.
Oh, really?
She's also like probably awakened more furries in gaming than any other character.
I mean, look at this image. I
had to do it.
I could have sworn that was the Vault Boy yellow.
Bro, when I picked Vault Boy and put him on that list, I was like, this feels so mean because it's like his colors are so similar to her.
And I have never seen or known what Crystal is before.
Oh man, that was fun though. That was fun. I think the next time we do it, I might even do like a fourth color on the swatch. We'll see if it makes sense. But we're just gonna do the multiple choice part. We're not gonna do the front screen. I think that'll be fun though to do with a group.
It will be. It will.
All right, so we're gonna do for our Patreon subscribers, we're gonna do a bonus, just not today because
not today, Junior.
My voice is spent. Tom.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot we didn't have music. Great Brit Tom. Oh, do you want me to go? There we go. Okay. Great Brit Tom on each and every platform. Come check out, we have a mobile showcase over at GameSpot happening on September 8th called Swipe. Go check that out. Go check out the news programming. Go follow the GameSpot TikTok. Yeah, that'll do me for today.
Christian, we're the Unranked podcast. Look, it's in the show notes. I can't speak. See you guys next week and stay unranked.
COVID can suck it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.